I'm Genesis Combs. I'm with the Redux group, EXP. I am a real estate agent. I've been licensed for coming up on 3 years now. I serve West Virginia, Virginia, and Maryland. So I've been doing it, creeping up on some years, trying to get some more experience. But I love what I do.
Very exciting. I'm interested to learn more of just all the different things you
Yes.
do. Take me back to how you got started in all of this. Tell me how you got to where you are today.
So, I've always had a passion for real estate. Growing up, and I make this joke, but like HGTV, I would always see that, and the real estate world is so different than that. But, I kind of just always had a passion for it, and I got in the field, and I haven't looked back since. So, I love what I do. I've wanted a job just helping people. In real estate, I get to do that every single day.
Very cool. You kind of knew it was your calling from the
Yes,
beginning, is what I'm taking.
exactly. Exactly right.
Awesome. So, going off of that, many agents enter real estate later in life. How has starting young actually become one of your biggest strengths?
Starting the field younger, I thought it may be a downside of it, but honestly, it has been a strength. Coming in with that energy and dedication and just the always wanting to learn more, just absorbing everything like a sponge. It's actually been very beneficial. I'm able to even meet older clients and they're like, "Oh, you're younger." And I'm like, "Yes, but you know what that brings to the table? Energy. It brings that dedication that not a lot of older agents have. They've been doing it for years, but it's just a habit to them. And me, I love my job. I love connecting and bringing that energy and just serving my clients.
That's amazing. It sounds like such a fun journey
Oh
you've
my
been
gosh,
on,
yes.
and all the exciting people that you get to meet along the way.
Definitely. You meet so many people. It's amazing.
Yeah, all ages, all
Definitely. The
everything.
networking is outstanding with it.
Very cool. So, as you said, you're licensed in West Virginia and Maryland.
Yes.
How does working across three states give your clients a unique advantage?
That's exactly the reason I got licensed in the tri-state area. I had clients that wanted to look just, Winchester, and we were looking in West Virginia. So we can cross over that line and I can serve them in all three states. Or, for example, I have investor clients and they're just not limited to West Virginia. We can go, "Hey, let's go to Virginia, look at properties here," or even Maryland. Each state is so different, but very beneficial in the ways it serves them.
Absolutely. We live in such a unique location where we
Yes.
can be in three different states within, I
Like
don't know,
15, 20
like
minutes. It's crazy.
it's insane. And I can see how that really just brings a lot to the table when it comes
Definitely.
to your job.
Yes, it was, the key thing, my most important thing was getting licensed in multiple states. It's so beneficial.
Wonderful. And what does being part of the Redux group mean for the way you show up for clients and the systems you bring to each transaction?
So, that's something I'm very excited to share about. I just joined them this past month. So I've been with the team for since I started, but I needed something where I can better serve my clients with continuing education, marketing, and whatnot, and also just knowing each area, not just West Virginia. So you get in Virginia, and it's a completely different market than West Virginia, whole different ball game. And then same with Maryland. Each state, even though they're so close together, you can't even comprehend how different it is from, the rules in West Virginia to Virginia. So I'm excited just to, have that knowledge in all three states, be able to serve all of my clients in all three states, and just, better serve them with everything from marketing to knowledge to making sure and ensuring everybody's happy.
Very cool. It's really fascinating. The different kind of way things work in
Oh,
each different
oh,
state.
definitely.
And you're well versed in all of them. So
Yes,
that's
that's
awesome.
so important in real estate.
Cool. And, can you share maybe a story of your recent client who told you that you became their favorite agent, knowing they've purchased quite a few homes within their lifetime? What did that moment mean to you?
It meant so much. So, a little insight on that, they bought many homes. I think this was their fifth home purchase. So, they were experienced with agents. They dealt with many agents. And one of their biggest pain points was not being able to connect or even get a hold of an agent. I was on the other line of the phone when they called one day about a listing. I answered the phone. I showed them that property the next day. It wasn't the one. We spent months looking for the one, but bringing that energy, especially with my age, it isn't a downside. They were like, you are by far our favorite agent. You've showed up for everything. You've given us all the knowledge we need to know. You've guided us and just held our hand through the whole process. So being told that I was their favorite agent when they've worked with multiple, that meant so much. And I was, their youngest agent that they've worked with. So hearing that just brought like a huge smile across my face because that's the reason I do what I do. I got into real estate to help people, and, being reminded of that is so important to me.
That's the best feedback I think anyone can ever
Yes.
receive.
It meant so much. I like carry that with me every day.
Oh, for sure. And to be a part of such a big milestone for a
hmm
family like that,
Definitely.
I'm sure it's super rewarding.
Yes, there's so many stories with just milestones. It's the biggest home purchase you're going to do in your life. And for most people at least, but it's something that's very overwhelming, and just having somebody there for you, rooting for you on the sidelines and guiding you through the ups and downs of what can happen in a transaction. It's so crucial to have somebody who's there for you and advocating for your best interest. So it's amazing.
Said from the moment they meet you to the time they get their keys, and well
Exactly.
beyond that, I'm sure.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. And what are some of the qualities your clients tell you they value most when working with you?
I would say definitely communication is, never being left out. It's the biggest importance is, making sure they know what to expect, guiding them. So from day one, say it's a buyer and we're looking to buy. I tell them what that process is going to look like, what it looks like when they find the home. Just making sure they're informed during the whole process. So if something does come up, and also, not making sure everything's just picture perfect, tell them of, what can come up in a transaction, the ups and downs of it. This could go south real quickly, and how to address that. And what do you want from me when that happens? So, addressing what certain situations could look like from day one is, I would say, the most important thing.
I love the point you made about the idea or just the concept of transparency.
Yes,
That is so important, especially in a field like this, of the client just being informed of every step of the
definitely.
process and which way it could go. I think there's nothing more reassuring than that
Yes,
from an
definitely
agent.
just setting those expectations is the number one priority, at least for me and what I try to do with my clients.
Absolutely. And many buyers, especially first timers, can feel overwhelmed right now. How do you use your knowledge and energy to help them feel supported and informed from day one?
So, this is something I try to preach about all the time. First time home buyers and buyers in general, they say they want to make a move and say, let's 6 months to a year. The number one thing is, talk to me when you're thinking about buying, even if it's 6 months from now. I'm not here to rush the process, and also talk to a lender is definitely the two important things. Let's come up with a game plan, devise one, and so when the time is ready for you to buy, we have everything squared away and everything checked off, whether it's, your credit needs a little improvement or you need to pay things off. Sometimes it's best to talk to that lender and see what you actually need to do. Sometimes we think, we have to take these steps to be able to buy in 6 months, and that's not always the case. So just talking to me and, talking to a lender, it's so important. We're here to get you in the right direction.
I think that you speak of talking to lenders. That's such a great piece of advice
Oh my
that
gosh, yes.
not everyone is aware of. So I think that's really awesome that you're able to
Yes.
also provide that as another option. And
Definitely.
like you
And when,
said,
some people are scared of that, scared of lenders or scared of talking to agents, and it is scary. It's so much information, but we're here to help you. That's the biggest thing. We're here to help. We're not here to rush you. We want to make sure everything's perfect for you. So it's so important in the process.
perfect. Well said. And with industry shifts, kind of a pivot in question here, like higher interest rates and rising prices.
Yes.
How do you help clients navigate them strategically?
With the interest rates, it's something that is so up in the air right now. It's a question I get every single day. And we don't have a crystal ball to see the future, but what I tell my clients is, there's no perfect time to buy. Everybody buys or sells for a reason. So let's see what that reason is. Let's get behind the reasoning. Some people, they're retiring. Do they need to retire and move somewhere else, or can they wait for interest rates to go down and get the most profit out of their home? With buyers, it's a little harder. Sometimes there's a time crunch and they need to buy ASAP. And interest rates are high and it almost makes it impossible for them. But my piece of advice is, the same thing going back to the previous question. Talk to a lender, talk to me, let's come up with a game plan. These interest rates are scary. Yes, they're slowly but surely coming down and we're trying to get back to a normal market. But let's talk together, let's come up with a plan and go from there.
We're all in it together, right?
Exactly. Yes, for sure.
It's really great how you're just able to kind of walk them through the whole process
Yes.
because it can be daunting.
And in these uncertain times, it's very, just there's so much uncertainty. Like it's scary, but we're here to help and we'll get through it together.
Wonderful. And how do you approach building trust so quickly, especially with clients who have struggled to get agents to show up or communicate well?
How I gain my clients' trust, it's, meeting with them and just setting those expectations and that transparency of, this is how something can go wrong. This is how we're going to address it if it goes wrong. And how do you want me to react if, say, for example, say we have a home on the market and it's been sitting and we're coming up on that 5 week mark or 3 week mark and no showings. I want to have that conversation with them before we even list the home of this can happen. Your home could be sitting, we could be getting no showings. Let's come up with a price point we're going to list it as, and then what is the lowest you're willing to go. Hopefully we don't have to go there because I'm going to try to get you the best. That is my goal for you. But just setting up those expectations and transparency is your home could be sitting on the market. What are we going to do if that happens? Let's hope that doesn't happen, but what are we going to do? And then having just that real conversation with them and then coming up with a game plan for the things that could go south. So earning their trust, showing them that I'm all for them and I'm advocating for them to get them the best deal. So just being very transparent and just being your genuine self, be like a friend, not all strictly business, just connecting with them. But obviously, being business when it comes time. But just connections and relationships, the biggest thing.
For sure. It also just sounds like such a personalized experience.
Yes, definitely.
No matter what stage of life, no matter what part of the process, you will work with them and you will get them to where they want to be and their goals. I think that that's awesome.
Exactly.
And going into that, you bring a high level of detail and market understanding to every transaction. How do those strengths show up behind the scenes in the way that you manage each deal?
It honestly just depends with each deal. For example, before I go on a listing appointment, just scoping out the area, knowing what's sold, and coming up with a plan. And when I meet those clients, just having that information in the back of my mind with, okay, this is what's sold in the area, and this is the improvements they've done on their home. So it varies case by case. Doing my homework. You do your homework before you meet a client. So that goes with buyers and sellers. Find their pain points with both buyers and sellers. Do your homework so you're prepared when you meet them. And overall, yeah, just be prepared. Don't go into a listing or buyer presentation blind. It's the worst thing you can do as an agent, which you should never do.
Awesome. And I can't stress enough how much I love how you say you got to do your homework.
Exactly.
You got to do the research. You got to know your stuff. And I can very well say that,
Yes.
that you are all over it, and I love it.
Thank you.
Real estate requires, a ton of follow through. What daily habits or systems help you stay consistent, responsive, and on top of just multiple transactions at once?
Definitely joining this team. We have daily Zoom meetings 9 a.m. every morning, and that's just with what's happening in your real estate life. And market updates is so important because you wake up one morning and interest rates could have went down or up. The market could be different, average home price. So staying informed with the market updates every single day, crucial. And then again, with my clients, I have an amazing team, back office that supports me. So making sure everything's crossed off the list with my current buyers, sellers, and just everything is lined up and checked off. So having that support, staying knowledgeable about the market, it's so important to me. And the only way you can, manage your business.
Having that support system, teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Exactly. Yep, perfectly said.
Awesome. And for anyone listening who's thinking of buying or selling in West Virginia, Virginia, or Maryland, what's the number one thing you would want them to know about working with you as their agent?
That is such a good question. I would say what would set me apart from, other agents would just be when I'm working with you, I want to build a relationship. I don't want to just, do a deal and goodbye, never speak to you again. I want to build a relationship and get the best outcome for you. So I want to identify why you need to sell or buy, talk and go through the ups and downs of what you're going through and what could happen in the market and just be there for you and advocate for you. I'm not here for the sale, I'm here for you. And that is the biggest reason I got into real estate. So I'm not here just to rush the deal and goodbye and go on your own and go on with life. I'm here to build a long lasting relationship and advocate the best deal for you.
Agent for life.
Exactly. Yep. I get so sad at my closings because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to see you for a while. But every closing, they're like, no, we're staying in touch. We're going to grab dinner or something. And, that's just the best reward after closing a deal is having just those connections last.
That is such a magical interaction to be part
Yes,
of, and I'm so happy for you.
definitely.
As we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to add that I haven't touched on today?
I feel like we've touched a lot, but just going back to the reason why I started real estate is just having a job that helps people. And I've always wanted a job that didn't feel like a typical 9 to 5 and dreading to go to work. I wake up every day and I'm a smile across my face because I love what I do. I love helping people and I get to do that with real estate every day. And it doesn't feel like a job. It's a dream job in a sense. And doing my job, it's very rewarding. I would say I'm definitely a go-getter. So you put in the amount of effort you want with real estate and you get the return back. And just making long-lasting relationships and excelling with work is the best reward ever. So I would definitely say that's the most important thing that I would
Absolutely.
want clients to know or people watching.
Okay. Very awesome. I'm so excited for you and everything to come your way in the future.
Yes.
You're doing amazing, and I know it's just up from
Thank
here.
you. Definitely.
So I want to thank you so much, Genesis, for joining me on the podcast today,
Yes.
and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been such an amazing opportunity.